Alan Mashburn will come at this time. He is a candidate for Lieutenant Governor. He's going to tell you about himself.
Get started, say good afternoon. Good morning. My name is Alan Mashburn. I am running for Lieutenant Governor. I'm a pastor. I'm pastor of Asbury Baptist Church in Seagrove, North Carolina, the pottery capital of the world, so they say. I know we've got a lot of dirt, but nevertheless, they say it's pottery. I am a father of 4. Zach is here, my oldest son. He's 19 years of age, and I have 2 boys and 2 girls. They run from 19 years of age all the way to age 4. I'm compelled to run for office because I, just like Dr. Harris, I am sick and tired of seeing what we're seeing. And the only way to protect the vote, Miss Linda, is continue on the pathway of what the legislature has put forward in the election integrity bill. So that has to be done legislatively. And once we do that, thankfully, we'll have a legislature that will pass that, and we will enforce it. And I'm all about enforcing what we have already on the books, aren't you? Enforce the law. Now, we need to come to a truth, because we live in a day where everybody seems to have their own truth. That's what we have in a post-modernistic society. By the way, how many veterans do we have in here? I want to say from the onset, thank you for your service. I think the very first thing we must understand is that we in this country, and the quicker we understand it, the better we'll be. We're at war. Because we do have to reclaim our country. We do have to reclaim this country, America. Too much blood has been shed on the battlefields of the world for us not to stand and be counted. Truth matters. Election matters. When you've got a cackling hen as a vice president going down into a state called Florida and trying to tell them what is truth when she don't even know what's truth. And I'm not trying to single out people, but it's part of the left's MO. They come up with their own truth. Let me give you some truth. Number 1, God is real. Number 2, there are 2 genders. Do you understand that? There are only 2. This is not Heinz 57. This is not something like that where Kentucky Fried Chicken where there's 13 ingredients. There are 2 genders. We are at war, and you and I as believers, if you'll understand this concept, it will help you not to be so discouraged. We are in spiritual war. And to fight that battle, you have to fight it not politically, but spiritually, on your knees. We must pray for this country. I'm writing an op-ed for Washington Examiner, and here's the title of it. Don't California my Carolina. Don't California my Carolina. We have to be bold in our stand, be bold in our principles, be bold in what God has given us. This is the greatest land in the world. And we must treat it as such. We must have the same tenacity as those soldiers who stormed the beaches of Normandy. We must have the same courage as those soldiers who were maybe not old enough to even carry a gun by today's standards, but had one in their hand. They were not old enough to even get married, many of them by some standards. Maturity. They caught that on the battlefield. And they stormed those beaches knowing that they would never return. Let me tell you something. That's the same tenacity we must have. If you're sitting here today and you have a conviction that is nothing more than a preference, and what I mean by that, you think in your heart that politics as usual will save this country and bring us back from the brink of extinction, you are sadly mistaken. If you will go back to the history books and realize the reality of what's going on in our land, you will notice that it goes always back to a career politician. We have to get to the business of firing some people. And we must have to have the courage to do that as voters. That takes boldness. An open border is no border. Reverse racism is racism. The nuclear family is the greatest form of governance known to mankind. Here's another one for you. Capitalism will bring people out of poverty. There are 3 branches of government, not 4, not 5. There is only one truth. And here, my friend, the United States Constitution is the greatest guarantor of rights in all of history. Too much blood has been shed for us to sit idly by. I'm running because I want my children to have a future. I want them to have the same desires that I had. I want them to have the same dreams that I had. But my friend, I want them to have the same liberty and the same freedom as I enjoy. I cannot pillow my head at night knowing that I did not do something. And I want you to do something in your own heart. I want you to commit to be bold in your prayer life concerning your children, concerning your churches, concerning your pastors, concerning your country, concerning your land. I want you to be bold in your conviction. I want you to be bold in your discipline. I want you to be bold in your voting. Because America is worth fighting for. Don't ever lose it. Never, never lose it. Don't ever give up. And don't ever give out. You say, what would make a fat man drive 2 hours and get excited on a Saturday? It's because I love that flag. I would have crawled here if I'd had to. God bless you. And God bless your families. And God bless the state of North Carolina and the United States of America.